Ladies and gentlemen, Melina, darling. Melina's fiery, darling. She's a fiery queen. Melina's a fiery, feisty queen. Sorry, darling. Sorry, guys. I hope I'm not catching a cold, darling. Alright, darling. Sorry about that. Anyway, guys, Melina's really happy to be here, as usual. I do my own show. I hope you love, guys. I hope you love. Melina's mystical, darling. She's mystical, everyone. Melina's a beauty queen. Now, guys, a lot of people that I know around me are very weird around me. And not to say, I'm not saying it's a good thing or a bad thing, really. But I think people know what my potential is, that I'm going to be really famous. So people will say like the weirdest things, like a lot of, and look, I saw this one TikToker who was saying, she's like, because she was doing a stitch and she was saying, because the one girl was like, the more popular you get, you lose friends. People get really negative, right? So she does a stitch video, right? And in the stitch video, she's like, oh, yeah. So she says, oh, the more popular you get people that hate you and all this, right? So the girl in the stitch, after the stitch, she stitched the video and said that, and then she's like, yeah. So some of my friends were like, oh, well, because she got a lot of views, and she's like, well, you need a lot of likes, and then she's like, got a lot of likes, and she's like, well, likes don't count unless you have subscribers, and then she got a lot of subscribers, and then all of a sudden, her friend was just so mean, and she's like, I never did anything to her. She wasn't doing as well, so she was really unhappy, right? So she was being really negative. So they had to split their friendship. They couldn't be friends anymore, right? And I mean, part of me is like the same thing happens to me, right? So people are very weird around me. So I've had even people in my family say, give up your channel, you're in an open marriage, so find dates and date people, you know, and don't have a channel. Just do it privately. Don't be famous, whatever, right? And so I'm like, okay, like that, and that to me, I was just suddenly like, I never thought my family would say that, like I always thought my family would be very supportive of my channel, right? So my family member was just, and I mean, I'm supportive of them anyway. I understand maybe they have a hard time with my success or whatever, but I'm not even famous yet. I mean, I can't wait till I'm famous, but I don't know what it's going to be like then. But she's really nice to me now, and this is my family member, and we've always been very close, so I don't hold it against her. I understand, maybe she just felt like saying that at the time, but I just thought it was really weird, and she's very nice to me, like, don't get me wrong. She's great to me, like, she's a good family member, and she's always been very supportive, like, she helps me out. Anytime I would need help, for any reason whatsoever, she would help me, right? So I have no issues with that, I mean, I understand it's weird. I understand, it seems to me she was a bit jealous, or whatever the reason. Maybe she wasn't jealous. Maybe she thought it was funny, but whatever reason, because she's doing well, I don't know why she'd be jealous. So I'm like, okay, so I'm just like, whatever, right? So I understand that people might say things that you don't like, right? So I'm like, okay, well, why would I just stop making my channel when I love it and I know I'm going to be hugely famous and be rich? And why would I want to be poor all my life? I've always been poor, right? So I'm like, okay, and then, so I'm like, yeah, so, and then I had friends that say the weirdest things, they'll just say things, and you're like, okay, like, I understand that it's just like, you're just like, I understand that maybe you don't have a famous channel. So all that, right? So they say weird things, right? But at some point you have to also recognize that doing well on TikTok and YouTube is a privilege. Not everyone has that privilege. I'm rising up in the ranks quite fast, so people get very nervous around me and have a hard time with me, and sometimes they see my true potential and they get scared. So I totally understand that. I totally get that, and I know it's hard for people. So I understand it's not easy, especially when you've been working on your channel for so long and maybe you're not seeing the same results. Like, I'm still new and I'm still not getting enough views to even be famous at all. But people see that I'm rising quite quickly, and so they just get upset, right? And so I understand, that makes sense. If you're somebody that's not doing very well, of course you have more time on your hands because you're not doing well, and so you're going to pick on someone that might be doing very well, right? What else would you do, right? I mean, really, it makes perfect sense. I mean, if you have a YouTube channel and you have 10 subscribers and you don't see yourself getting famous and you don't see yourself doing well and you get hater comments all the time and you really believe them and you give up, then of course you're going to feel like my channel's a threat or whatever. So I understand the reasoning behind it. And I also don't even feel like it's really wrong. Like, I mean, I'm busy. I make videos all the time. My growth on these channels is more than people that are in the same position as me. So I totally understand. If you're not doing well, you're not going to be happy with me, right? Some people are. They don't mind. They love my channel. Maybe they're doing well in other areas. They don't need a YouTube channel or TikTok channel. So they're not too concerned. And I have a lot of fans that probably are doing a certain way, and they're happy with me because I really helped motivate them. And so they don't care that they have less because they're going to do well because they believe in what I believe in, the motivation piece and all that. So I motivate them and help them to grow, and they're going to be famous too, right? But it really is understandable to have hater comments. I really think if we look at the state of the world and what we're in, people can be very mean, people can be very rude, but if you have nothing and you have hardly anything in your life and you're not doing well at all, then of course, what else would you be? You're not going to be like, oh, you got this many subscribers and you got it that fast and this and that and whatever. Of course you're not going to be like gung-ho about it if you're competitive and you just only see that as a negative. It's possible, right? Anyway, I usually get positive comments. People are very friendly with me. I try to be understanding. Some days my understanding level is not very high. I can be very upset with people. I can be very, not a snob. I'm never really a snob, but sometimes I'm like, I'm entitled this, that, and feel like a divo or diva. Well, as a divo as Marco, because I'm always Marco in my life. So I feel like a divo. But, I mean, really, I understand where people might feel, oh, hey, don't forget the small person, right? And so, of course I wouldn't, but some people are, when you're doing really well, you're growing so fast, and it's understandable. I've worked so hard, but, and I understand, like I keep saying, I understand what haters are going through, Some people are not doing well. Some people don't have a good channel. Some people get hater comments daily and no subscribers, I understand that can be very frustrating, so I totally get that. Anyway, thank you all for watching. Totally enjoy. Bye now. Bye everyone. Bye guys.